This video is going to be showing you how to solo force the new Expunge mission, the QUIRA mission. For those that just want to see this and skip the time on the screen, first I can show you what setup I was using and the triumphs that are related to this new mission. So it's the new weekly 8 Splicer quest. You'll do that. So you'll do everything as normal. You'll start with override from the helm. You'll do that. You'll just follow these options as you go, and then eventually you'll get to doing the weekly corrupted mission, which is Tartarus. You'll do that. It's the same as the original Tartarus, just it's corrupted. There's minor changes, very minor. I'm not going to cover this video again because it's such a short one. I've already covered Tartarus, so if you want to see that, there's many people done Tartarus. It's the same thing, just it's taking enemies. So there's nothing interesting with that. But the next part is because it's QUIRA, it's a new boss. There's new things going on in this mission, so I'll make a video on this part, not this part. So they're going to be showing you how to solo force this part on a Titan. I may do the Walk-on Hunter, depending on how this video goes. So the triumphs I'll just quickly show you, because they do exist. So you get 3 triumphs to proc. If you do end up getting solo force on your first go, you'll get 3 of course. So you get Defeat the Source of Endless Night, which is QUIRA, so you get that. Then you get Unpredictable, Complete, Expunge Delphi without dying, which that's the key triumph that gives you the exotic ghost. That's the only real specific loot you're going to get for it. So if you just want to do this without dying, you can do it in your team. It does not say solo. This one does. This one, true variable, says Delphi solo without dying. There's no loot tied to that though. Okay. Obviously you'll get the corrupted key chest that you can open. You'll get that in a team run. So there's no loot specific for solo force is what I'm trying to say. But there is somewhere in the game to say that you've done it. The exotic ghost looks like this. The Splicer ghost. This is what you'll end up getting. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Decent ghost, not too bad I guess. But that's just showing you what it is. In terms of loadouts, so I'm on a Sentinel, Core of the Protector top tree, so that's Ward of Dawn Bubble. Any grenade that suits you, use. I'm using Tower and Barricade for this. In terms of weapons, it says that there's champions, Barrier and Overload, but you don't need to spec for Barrier and Overload. You wouldn't even need to spec for any, to be honest, because the champions don't have much health in this. So it doesn't really matter, is what I'm saying. But I had a scout on anyways, because the scout works out really well, and you'll see that in the run. So I just put on Hung Jury, my usual Hung Jury that I've got. I had a sniper on. Any precision-based weapons that you have are going to do well. Anarchy will do well, but precision-based weapons do well as well in this because of how the boss fight works and stuff like that. So I went Scout, Sniper, and Sleeper Simulant because it's nice precision damage and it's getting buffed soon, so I'm wanting to use it more regularly. If you want to use Anarchy, use it. It's up to you. Do what you want. And then for armor mods, we have just got a basic setup. This is just a smashed up setup after reset. I haven't put too much thought into it. I haven't thought, right, I need this resistance, I need this water mine cell, I need charge of light. I haven't thought about that. I just thought I want a bubble for DPS. I want some survivability, which is Synthoceps. When you're surrounded, you get the melee buff, the 50%, and the super buff if you're going to use it like that. I just thought of that. And then I just spec for ammo mods. So I've got double linear finder, because that's what I'm using. A sniper rifle loader, anti-barrier scout, in case we do need to use it. Linear fusion rifle reserves, a concussive dampener, because it always works in anything you do. I had traction, linear scavenger on, and then just bomber distribution on my class piece. I had global on there for whatever reason, forgot to take that off. Doesn't really matter, but as long as you've got the components of a good heavy, good special, good exotic gauntlets on, or whatever you want to use, and bubble, that's all you need. That's what we're using for the setup. Okay, so this mission's going to start out very similar to the other Expunge missions. It'll start out exactly the same, in fact. So you'll open this door and you'll get the same thing. Now your Splicer upgrade determines on how quickly you'll do it. I have mine fully upgraded, which I imagine people are starting to get to that phase. If you haven't, you're going to have to take longer routes, which this video is not going to show you that. So you might want to watch another one if that's going to bother you. It'll just mean that you're taking a longer route. It's no biggie. You could do this very similar to mine in terms of the boss and things without any upgrades, and you'll get away with it fine. Okay, so it's not essential, but I have got them, so I'm going to use it. So with this mission, it's going to gel a lot of the Expunge missions together, which was a funny thing. people might not believe me, but I actually thought about this when week 1, week 2 Expunge mission came out. They were very similar, and I thought, I've seen a trend here. They're all short 5 to 10 minute missions. And I didn't like that, but people will like it because it's short enough to farm it, and people like to farm in this game. But I think they're just slightly too short for me. But this one is a little bit longer than the rest, so I like it a lot more, and it gels them all together. So for example, we ran through the portal, we're doing Labyrinth, which was week 1 of the Expunge missions, but we're only doing half of Labyrinth. You're going to do half of Labyrinth, the jumping puzzle, then you're going to go through a Vex portal, and then you're going to go into another mission from Expunge. So it's gelling all the Expunge missions together, which in my books is good. It's a good thing. It's surprising, because they could have just used Tartarus. They could have just used that jumping part, because it's Tartarus week. They could have just used that and then put QUIRA boss, the boss room at the end, plonked him at the end, and said, "Here you go, there you go." They didn't do that, and that's good to me. So they've done a good thing with this, in my eyes. So as I said, if this video does well, I'll do one for the Hunter and the Warlock as well, if people desire it. I think people might struggle with it, but some people won't as well. If you sort of mediocre with the solo, this isn't much to you in terms of that. I'm just making video on it 'cause it's fresh. It's something for me to do. So obviously I've been playing other games. I haven't been uploading much Destiny for the last 4 or 5 days. So it's something new for me to upload, so it makes me want to play the game a bit. Don't forget to do the activate right here to your left if you've got your Splicer upgrade that far. It'll make this little bit, make this bit here just a little bit easier. Okay, but we can go on this teleporter here. Now for this week, for this mission, or for this part of this mission, the mechanics was to grab the orb and take it and get a time. You get a timer, 10-second timer, and that extends each time you sit in a zone. Now the ads that you need to kill here are the champion, the 2 harpies, and then an additional gold bar harpy. We use Synthoceps mainly for that. We use 1 sleeper shot for the champion, which almost 1 shot. Right, so that's really good that way. Then we go for the orb. The rest of the ads are just a diversion. Don't bother about them. But if you are getting hit a lot, you will be able to one-shot those ads with your melee ability, because we've got Synthoceps on and we're top 3 bubble. Now we get our orb to here, and then you drop. Forget about the orb. Get a melee kill or 2 if the ads are in your way, especially if you get an overshield. And then we use our sniper. Don't use sleeper, because sleeper will kill you there. It can kill you from the sleeper bounce, but we use our sniper to basically take down the blight. Because my sniper has explosive payload on it, it does additional damage to all targets, not just bosses. That's why it's better than Vorpal. This sniper that I have on is Uzume. Is one of the best snipers. It's probably the 2nd best sniper in the game, Legendary. Succession might be still better because of the reconstruction and what have you, but if you don't raid Deepstone Crypt, then this is your best sniper to you. This bit's the same, so we're on the one where you shoot the boxes. There's a little bit of difference here. So this used to be a tower that you scan, not a tower, but a timer that you get. But what it's turned into is a banner. So we use our bubble because we've got a bubble, and then we can one-shot the champion and then collect the banner, and we get our bubble back. So it's a good use of using it, because the trigger is the champion to open the Vex portal. That's key to know that. Which you should have your bubble by then, 100%. So this is on with the final boss, so that's pretty much it. But this is where he obviously is interesting the most. So wait till the boss is not immune. You wait for the boss's HP bar to come up at the bottom. I shot just slightly too early. The boss has taken sort of shields as well, which anti-barrier can shoot through those, but we're just waiting for the rotation of when we can get our precision damage with Sleeper, and then we break the shield because he detains you like Templar from Vault of Glass. You just sniper to do that, 1 or 2 shots, 2 shots I think, then immediately melee, because what will happen is the Scions will duplicate and get on top of you. You can get an instant melee, get your health back. That bit will be a bit where people will die, 100%, depending on what class they're on. They may get detained, they'll maybe break the shield, but then die from the sounds. So that's why we've got this setup on, and I knew that from my first run. This is what the best setup would be for people. Not necessarily Striker, but actually top 3 bubble is better. So now this is including mechanics from the mission we were just in, where you get the orb and you get a timer. Just go around, as you can see, take the route that I'm taking. So you just go right round. You can get it in one dunk, but you've got to be very good. You've got to be very fast. You don't really need to do that. Just go around the path. It's very easy to do so. And then you'll have a mini boss. So there's 2 mini bosses left and right of QUIRA. QUIRA is obviously immune right now. So QUIRA is set up into 3 phases. The first phase you can do damage. The second phase you can't. It's immune. So what you need to do is take on a mini boss to take down the shields. Now what's interesting is, I think, I'm just guessing it now, there's a Taken shield and there's a normal Hydra shield. I think the Taken Minotaur takes down the Taken shield, and the normal Vex Minotaur on the other side of the map takes down the normal barrier. But what I do is I take both mini bosses first. As you can see, I've just literally looked at the boss. He doesn't have a Taken shield because I took down the Taken boss. But you could do DPS now. I could do DPS now and then get him immune, but then I still need to take down this mini boss. So what my idea is, take both mini bosses down and get 2/3 of damage in from our Ward of Dawn bubble. If ads are hitting you as well when you're on the capture points for timer, you can get Synthoceps to proc with your relic to get the health regen if you're struggling with that. But Concussive Dampener in general will help you out with all that stuff. But it's just sort of how you see it. But this fight will be simple to some, and it is to me, but at least it's better than the other missions that we've had. And I'll give it credit when I think something's good when I first do it. I'm like, oh well, they've done good there, then I'll say they've done good. But if they've done bad, I'll say they've done bad. You won't get a lie out of me. I'm a Destiny fan, but I'm not a Destiny fan as well. Because if you're too hardcore, saying, you know, Bungie never do wrong, the game will never get better if you have that outlook. So have the outlook that you're a consumer, you're playing the game. Are you liking it right now? If the answer's yes, then you're good. If the answer's no, then say so. So we'll do a bubble on the last phase. Just do as much Sleeper as possible. He will detain you, but he should be weak. He'll also do his walls at you, but you've got your bubble for protection. And we've done our last shot with Sleeper. So Sleeper works out really well. Anarchy would have worked out really well, to be honest. A legendary linear would have worked out well. Witherhoard would work out well. Rocket launchers. Anything that you want to use, you can use. But stick, if you're going to do it on Titan, stick with this. But if you want to do it in Core of the Missile, you can. It probably would do a lot of damage to the boss. But I just think this would be a bit better, easier for people who want to stay alive, especially when you get detained. You can open up the chest as well. You'll see me pop the triumphs. But that was the run on it. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.